something happens in your 30s. It's definitely a topic where people feel a little bit uncomfortable with sometimes. Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name's Nikole and we're actually filming in a new room today. This is my office. I think I filmed like a vlog here one time. We did take a little bit to figure out the lighting setup, so hopefully it looks good. I'm really excited because in today's video, I'm gonna be chatting all about the unique health and wellness habits that I really started to do in my 30s. So if you're excited to know what those healthy habits are, keep watching, make sure you subscribe, and let's hop right into the video. The first one is kind of like a two-in-one. It is acupuncture and acupressure points. Essentially, I started to do acupuncture when I was pregnant with my daughter Sage. I had tried it like a couple times in my 20s. I did facial acupuncture and then I just did acupuncture one day with a naturopath just to see how I liked it. But it wasn't until I started to do it like consistently. I started to do it, go in once a week, and then I moved into bi-weekly and then monthly for maintenance, and that is when I noticed the biggest difference. I started going in to see someone because I had really bad indigestion with Sage. I was not sleeping well. My nerves were all wired and I was just not doing well, and I was looking for natural remedies just to ease my mind and my nerves. And in conjunction with that, I also started to use my acupressure mat a lot. You've heard me talk about this before. I swear by it. It is something anyone can do from the comfort of their own home. You don't have to go in and see anyone. It is different than acupuncture, but essentially you are hitting those acupressure like meridian points as well. It is so relaxing. It's great for sleep, nervousness, anxiety, stress, headaches. There's a pillow one that I will use if I have a really bad headache or migraine. And I probably use this mat every single day without fail. We've moved and I don't have a acupuncturist right now near me that I love, so I've been using my mat every day. I took this when we went to Portugal. I literally laid it on the plain sea and laid on it, and it's a miracle worker. I cannot recommend this thing enough. It's a great gift idea. Holidays are coming up, and I actually have a coupon code. I'll link that down below. Not sponsored, love them, and it's like my must-have healthy habit, especially in my 30s. This next one is something I've talked about a lot before, but I don't feel like I've mentioned it enough because the impact it's had on my life is life-changing. This actually made a difference in my day-to-day life, and I just felt more like a functioning human being. I've struggled with anxiety pretty much my whole life, and it was extremely bad in my mid-20s. And eventually, I think when I turned 30, I decided I was gonna try something new, and that was hypnosis therapy. And I started working with a practitioner, and I did weekly sessions, and then that turned into bi-weekly and then monthly. Do you see a theme with the acupuncture? I feel like everyone wants to do something once and then have it change their life. And it's all about consistency, repetition, and creating a consistent routine. And then I started meditating every single day, and I did this for a year, and then 2 years, and then 3 years. Even after 3 months of me doing it, I started to notice like little changes that it was happening in my life. So this was like a hypnosis type of therapy, but essentially meditation, mindfulness, finding time for your mind to quiet down and just breathe and relax and really tune in has just done wonders for me. And I think everybody should have some form of relaxation and meditation in their life. People who say, I cannot do it, I feel like they're the ones that need it the most. And I used to be like that too. If you say you can't do it or you don't want to do it, chances are you probably need it and you're just like fighting it internally. And it really changed my life. I struggled with chronic anxiousness all the time. When I woke up, when I went to bed, I couldn't catch my breath. I was so jittery and just wired all the time. And I took out the caffeine, I ate healthy, I took out the gluten, the sugar, everything. And really, I just needed to calm my nerves. And it took a while, and it has just changed my life. You can find so many ways to meditate, whether it's an app, a YouTube video, a podcast. You could go see someone like I did just to kind of help get the ball rolling, and then just do it yourself. And like I said, repetition is key. Yeah, it was one of the biggest things I've actually done for my health in my life, and it's like an invisible thing I can't even see. This is one I'm still struggling to completely get the hang of, but it is essentially setting boundaries and just not being available to the world all the time. I'm a mom now. I already have a toddler asking for my attention all day long, and as she should. She's little, she's growing, she needs her mom. But you don't need to be a mom to everyone else in the world. I'm learning to set boundaries, say no to things, make changes in my schedule so that they fit my lifestyle, not work too late, not work on the weekends, take some time off social media. And something I just implemented today, which I feel like I'm so late to the game, is focus mode on my iPhone. And essentially you create different filters for things like work, personal life. You can do settings for mindfulness. And within those focus settings, you can create who is allowed to contact you, what apps you get to see, and you can even schedule these to go on automatically. So for me, I set up my focus work mode to go on from 10 to 4, and then it switches over to my personal mode so that I can change maybe the fun apps or people who can contact me, maybe friends and stuff that I have now time to chat with once I am done doing the things I need to do for myself or my business. Even today, it's already been weird not knowing, like, is someone messaging me? Am I missing an email? But setting boundaries around just daily tasks so you can actually focus on what you're doing and you're not always getting interrupted, I think is gonna be really big. And just by doing the small things that I've already done over the last couple years have made such a difference in my life, like putting my phone on airplane mode at night so I'm not hearing it go off, or turning off notifications. By having our phones with us all the time, like literally mine's right here, it makes us feel like we always need to answer everyone right when they message us. But it's okay for someone to, wait a little bit until you have the time and energy to get back to them. So as a people pleaser, I feel bad letting people wait, but also I need to prioritize myself and what I need to get done first before I can, help everyone else's stuff that they need me to get to. Yoga tune-up balls. Oh my goodness, something happens in your 30s. I feel like I was singing. I don't know if it's just me, but I feel like there's a lot of TikToks and memes about it, but like my neck and back are so sore all the time. Like I wake up and I'm like, oh, I can't turn, like even checking my blind spot when I'm driving, I'm like, it just hurts. I have a sensitive neck. I have slight scoliosis. So if I sleep on my neck the wrong way, or I don't know, whatever, I wake up and I'm stiff, and it lasts for a few days, which is really, really annoying. So I'm all about like stretching, moving my body, mobility, all those things. But these yoga tune-up balls, wow, they're like $30. I had a massage therapist sell them to me. She's like, you should try these. You could do some stuff at home. I haven't done enough, but I have done this sequence that I found on YouTube. I'm gonna link it down below. And it's, I think, like a 15, 20 minute, maybe 30, I don't know, sequence. Basically, this woman goes through how to use them for your neck, shoulders, and back. And wow, if you feel stiff, like you can't fully like rotate your thoracic spine, I think that's what it's called, you need to try these. Like, wow, the release, she does an exercise before and then after to compare the two. And the difference is like black and white. It is one of the best things I have done for like my actual mobility in my body with pain and just movement and flexibility in a long time. I got Matt to do it as well, and it's $30 and you just YouTube the thing on for free. Like, done. Fixed your back, you welcome. But I love things that you can bring into your own home and not have to always pay to get them done, or even if you don't have time to always like go book an appointment and see someone. This is something you can do when you have the time in the comfort of your own home. And yes, you can do tennis balls. It's not the same. I thought that for a long time, and I would try to use them and they wouldn't stick right. These are like rubber, I'm pretty sure they're like rubber balls, and they stick and they just get into those nooks and crannies in your back, and it is the most magical thing. I'm actually gonna do it tonight because like I crave doing it because I feel so good after. Highly recommend. I will link the exact ones I have down below. CrossFit. I never in a million years thought I would be a person to go to CrossFit. It just seems really intimidating. It seems like it's for bodybuilders, not for me. And I don't know. I was just like, it's not my style. And let me tell you, I love it. It is interesting. It uses different areas in my body that I never used before. It's functional exercises, and it's just like, it's a healthy competitive style that's actually fun. Every day is so different. I love the community. You go there, everyone's like, hey, how's it going? People bring their dogs, people bring their kids. Like, we've brought Sage with us a couple of times, put her in a playpen, put some Shrek, or she watches us, and she's like a happy camper. You go at your own pace. You can do like our gym that we go to on Fridays. They have partner workouts, so Matt and I will work out together. And I just find it's a very engaging and fun workout, and I just feel empowered. You know, I feel like you hear a lot of negative stuff with CrossFit, like you get injured and blah, blah, blah. You can get injured in any sport or exercise. You need to make sure you are doing things properly, you're pacing yourself. When I go in there, I do the weights that are right for me and my body. There's so many modifications. If you can't do a pull-up, you can do, another exercise. The hour goes by so fast, and I just really have been enjoying it. So if you're intimidated like I was, definitely try it out. Do like a drop-in class. It is so much fun. You'll meet new people and just create a sense of community. Spending time in nature. You guys have heard me talk about going outside every single day, but I really feel like I started to do this more in my late 20s and definitely in my 30s. And this isn't just like stepping outside your door or going in your backyard, like actually immersing yourself in nature. When I was pregnant with Sage, that was the first time I started to actually do long walks. And when I say long, I mean like an hour or 2 hours. I was having a lot of morning sickness and just feeling off in my first trimester. So I took my dog out and we would go for long walks. And obviously do what feels right for you. Like, I'm not saying if you're pregnant, like go for a 2-hour walk, but that is what made me feel my best. I was not eating the best, I was not working out, but I was loving these long walks, and that's what made me feel so good at the end of the day. And when I was walking, it wasn't just about the movement, but it was the fresh air, just the energy you get when you are out in nature. And if you ever heard of the saying like forest bathing, there is something that happens on a different level when you are surrounded by trees and nature. It is so calming. It just brings down your nervous system, and I just find nature to be so healing on so many levels. We take our daughter and dog out in nature every single day, whether that's like a walk or going to the forest, or if it's summertime, the beach. Get dirty, get your hands in the ground and just reconnect with nature. I feel like we're inside way too much. There's all this like dust and stale air inside. Get outside, breathe the fresh air in, and don't just think outside is for summertime. Here in Canada, it gets really cold in the winter months. A lot of people will like hibernate inside, but I always make a point, even in the cold winter months, to get outside. And like, snow is fun. Going for a walk on a nice snowy day, as long as it's not icy, is just so calming, and the sound of your boots in the snow crunching, and I just think it's very therapeutic. And I cannot recommend it enough. I feel like I'm talking with my hands so much, but I don't know, I feel weird doing this. So next habit, reading fiction. This is something I've taken a little bit of a break of, but I have been doing so much better with reading in my 30s. And I think it's because in my 20s, I was all about like the more like, self-help, cookbooks, more like practical, logical stuff. Not that like fiction is not practical, but I was just wanted to learn when I read. I thought, why would I read just like a story for fun when I could learn something? And what I realized is that when you read fiction, you just get immersed into the story, and it is like junk food for the mind in a good way. I really enjoy reading a good, juicy, fictional story where you just, like I said, get really into it. I love it before bed. This has really helped me create a good bedtime routine. I got into the habit of just watching YouTube and Netflix like right before I went to bed. And once I transitioned into reading, it still gave me that I felt like I was getting a sense of entertainment and storytelling, but it was words on paper instead of, pictures on a screen that I was absorbing, and it just really helped wind me down. And I'm actually looking for a new book. So if you have any recommendations, I know everyone's reading, what is it, Colleen Hoover? Is that who? Is she like a romance writer? Okay, Chloe's laughing. I just go into a bookstore and I just pick any book, and it's like I'll read the back and be like, this looks good. And I've just gotten in the habit where I feel like before I didn't want to commit to a book unless it was really worth the read. It doesn't take long to read a book. Just pick up a book, try it out. If you don't like it, donate it to a friend, get another one, or have an e-reader and, flip through a couple and find what niche or genre that you like. But I will read anything from like mystery to romance to comedy, like a rom-com. I don't care. As long as it's a good story, I'm down. So this is an interesting one because it wasn't really intentional. And as I was making this list, it kind of popped up in my head, and I thought I'll share it because I feel like it's definitely a topic where people feel a little bit uncomfortable with sometimes, and it is drinking. I basically stopped casual drinking in my 30s, mostly because I got pregnant, and then I've been breastfeeding for almost 2 years now. And now, yes, I can have an occasional drink and stuff, but I just realized I don't really like being drunk. and then I don't like being hungover. And I feel like in your 20s, there's this sense of pressure, or you're not fun if you don't drink. Yes, I love the occasional glass of wine, maybe 2 if I want, but honestly, 1 glass of wine, I'm good. And there's this weird pressure where you're like, everyone's like, oh, have another shot with me, have a drink. Like, are you not drinking tonight? It's this weird thing that people are forcing on you, basically a poison or a drug. Like, it's kind of like the only substance that is socially okay to push on people. And the reality is you do not need alcohol to have fun. And if you don't like drinking alcohol, that's okay. My mom actually can't, she's like allergic to it. She can't drink it at all. And I always thought that was a little weird growing up. Like, oh, like, does she just never have fun? Let me tell you, my mom is like the one that's like partying the latest at any family function. She is never like, oh, I'm sleepy, I'm tired. She's like, let's dance. Her energy comes from the espresso and the desserts at the end of the night. But you know, she's just never drink. And I see everyone ask her and she's just like, yeah, no, I just don't drink. And I just think we need to stop pressuring people. But I've just realized, like, I'm just not a casual drinker anymore, and it just doesn't fit my lifestyle right now. It doesn't mean I'm not fun. I definitely like to have, a good margarita or a glass of wine here and there, but I could go weeks without drinking and I don't think about it. So don't be afraid to say no if you're not really craving a drink or you're just not a big drinker. That's okay. It doesn't mean you're uncool or you're not fun. It just means that you simply do not want a drink. You don't need to give an excuse. This next one is a little bit weird. Maybe you've never heard of it before, but it is listening to binaural frequencies. And I actually did do this a little bit in my 20s. There was a point where I was experiencing really awful anxiety, having trouble sleeping, like just insomnia. And I had a therapist recommend this app called Brainwaves. And I think it's like $5. I don't know what it is now, but it essentially has like all these different settings and binaural brainwave frequencies that you can listen to. And it was the first thing that I tried. And I tried, like, I remember taking even a tranquilizer to help me sleep, and that didn't do anything. And I tried this like brainwave app, and I don't know, I think my body was just able to relax finally, maybe focus on something. I conked out and I had the first sleep I had in like days. It was awful. And I mean, the sleeping was great, but not sleeping was awful. And that is when I first discovered this sound therapy. There's lots of different binaural frequencies, but essentially they can help improve things like creativity, cognitive, memory, decrease anxiety, improve your mood, and help you enter a meditative state. And there's all different types of frequencies. And lately I've actually been listening to, I think it's 852 hertz. And I'll just like find a YouTube video, which I will link down below, the one I've been using, and I just listen to it in the background while I'm working. I find it really relaxing, and I don't know exactly if it's doing anything, but I like it as background music when I'm working or cooking. And I've been using it now for a few weeks and really enjoying it. But like I said, I did experience some of it in my 20s and noticed like crazy benefits from it. I'm gonna link a video explaining more about it, just because I am not a scientist or a brain expert, but I think it's really cool and it's definitely worth a try if you're looking for something new. I've mentioned it before, but using essential oils for all areas in my life have made such an impact on my mood, my overall well-being, my health, my skin. In so many ways, I use essential oils. I use it in my skincare, I use it in my cleaning products, I use it in the air I diffuse. Oh, I didn't realize he turned off. I'm diffusing some calming essential oils right now. If I have a cut, a scrape, a burn, a headache, if I'm starting to feel under the weather, there is literally an essential oil for everything. They are concentrated plant extracts, and it's just mind-blowing the way plants can just be truly healing and so amazing for your health. If you want to learn more about them, I have a free 7-day essential oils email course. It gets sent right to your inbox, and you can just see all the different uses, what they actually are. There's some bonus recipes in there too, and all the different ways I use them. Like if I have a headache, I use peppermint and lavender. If I have a burn, I use lavender. I add rosemary oil to my shampoo and conditioner. It's great for your hair and scalp health. If I'm feeling under the weather, I have an immune roll-on that I will roll on my throat and my chest. I will diffuse certain oils too. And I'm trying to think of other ways that I use them. You can clean with them. I add some lemon into my natural cleaners just to help fragrance the house without using chemicals. I just love them so much, and we have essential oils all over the house. It kind of drives Matt crazy, but they have just helped me in so many different ways. Like our whole family uses them, and sometimes people are just a little bit scared of them because they seem like, oh, like you're not supposed to do this, you're not supposed to do that. But then they'll use like bleach and wall plugins and like all these like heavily chemical products in their home without hesitation. So if you're nervous, you know, start with like the easy ones, like citrus oils, lavender are great go-tos. I cannot recommend like a few drops of eucalyptus in your shower. Oh my goodness, it's like a spa has come into my home. Love them. And yeah, I actually just ordered a shelf to put all my oils and organize them and stuff so I can see them. It is like my natural pharmacy that I can just grab what I need when I need it. And yeah, I love them. We have diffusers all over the house. It looks really pretty. It smells great, and no one gets a headache from all those chemicals. Those are the things that really stood out for me in my 30s that I feel like I've been consistently doing lately, and I want to share them with you. If you want me to do a whole separate dedicated video on like the skin and beauty things that I've been doing now in my 30s, let me know down below. I can definitely do a separate video on that. Also, if you are not subscribed already to my channel, it's free. Click the button down below. I post here every single week. And if you want to check out one of my cookbooks, I have my original, the HealthNut cookbook, that's great for families, all styles of eating and diets. And then also I have the digital, the baby HealthNut cookbook, which is all the recipes that I started to feed my daughter from age 6 months and up. And I'm currently working on volume number 2 because the first one's been such a success. Thank you to everyone who's picked up a copy. I will have a link down below for both of those. And thank you so much for watching. Have a fabulous day, and I hope you guys try out one of these things I mentioned in today's video. Mwah! Bye guys.